Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Healing and Change Lab. I'm so grateful that you are here to join me. This is a special edition. As you can see here on stage, we are the two Almettas, where I get to be able to talk to my grandmother, listening to her elders, especially for this time, y'all. It's a lot going on in our world right now, and it's so important that we give space to acknowledging how much it is so important that we listen to excuse me, the generations that come before us and that have come before us. And one of the things that I'm so grateful for is being able to have my grandmother here and being in space and time together. So this is really great, and I'm so grateful to be able to have this space together and for you to be here with me, Grandma. I'm so grateful, and I'm going to say Abuela. That's how I call you, as Abuela. And you'll talk more about that, why I use such a beautiful word to
Mhm.
admire you. So I'm really grateful. Abuela, how you feeling today?
Hey, much better now, Mita.
Yeah.
I feel much better. Earlier, it was a little shaky, but I pulled it together.
Hey, we here together, Grandma.
Yeah.
We're giving ourselves
Okay.
grace, so much softness, so amazing today.
Exactly.
Abuela, can we start with just our names? How about that? Can we start with our names? Like people don't realize,
Okay.
for those who don't know, I'm named after my grandmother, who was named after her grandmother. So
Exactly.
it's three generations of being
Right.
piece of Almeida. So can you tell us a
Mhm.
little bit about that? You don't have to overshare if you don't want to with names and last names when
Yeah.
it's through our space, but can you give space to acknowledging like Almeida?
Well, Almetta stemmed from my father's mother.
Mhm.
And so I'm assuming and really hoping that the reason why my mother named me after her, that she must have had great love and respect for her.
Yeah.
So that's how I came about. Yeah,
So naming that.
yeah,
And my mother, which is Vanessa, who she
exactly.
on this month. I'm so excited to talk to the elders. So
Okay, right.
named me after her mother, which is my grandma, my abuela. So yeah.
So, yeah. Then you know what that was about, me to, so she could say, Almita, go over there and sit down, talking to you, but at me.
That's so right.
That's what that is. Yeah. Be quiet, Mika.
Oh gosh,
Cause,
it's so true.
yeah, cause she know she couldn't. Right. She know she couldn't say that to me.
Yes.
So now she used you. Okay, I'm gonna name her Almita, so I can say, Almita, hush, go over there and sit down. No, you can't have
Yeah.
that.
I love your abuela. So I want to just give you
Yes.
flowers, Grandma. Give your flowers. And people always give me credit for this purple lipstick, and I always say,
O-
you know,
Okay.
who actually taught me to wear lipstick? My grandma, mi abuela, she taught me
Mm,
to wear lipstick. And I would say,
yeah.
there's so many beautiful colors you can wear, pink and lilac.
Girl, I'm trying to tell you, you couldn't tell me nothing. Pink, orange, you hear me? Yes, I didn't like red. I didn't like the red lipstick, but I love the color of red.
Yes, yes.
But not the lipstick, but not pink and orange, hun, baby, that was my thing. You couldn't tell me nothing. Mm-mm.
Well, I was say I'm loving the colors because we both have the shade of purple. You know, you have the purple beauty
Oh yeah,
on. I got the purple.
yeah,
I got a little purple in the background. Like, it's all here. It's all
right,
nice, and you do too in the background as well. Okay, the reason why I call you,
yeah.
do you remember in eighth grade when I was introduced to like kind of like a little honors program where they wanted us
Hmm.
to learn different languages from the world,
Exactly,
English,
exactly,
Spanish, and that's when you helped
exactly.
code.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember with you guys too with the principal scholar.
Yes,
You
right.
remember that?
For scholars program. Yes.
Yes, exactly, exactly,
Oh,
exactly. All three of you used to go. You, your cousin Nikki, and your brother John.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yep,
Oh my gosh.
yep.
So for those who don't
So
know, Principal Scholars Program, I don't even know what that program is, but that was saving grace.
it was in Illinois in Champaign.
Yes.
We lived in Champaign. Yeah, we lived in Champaign. Mm-hmm.
So living
Yep.
in Champaign, they had this really great program, and I'm going to say shout out to Dr. Kevin Malone. Thank you so much for just being an amazing
Mm-hmm.
mentor and
Exactly.
friend to our family. Like so amazing because you helped me so much to get to this space. Not going to tear, but I'm making
Yeah.
me tear y'all today because I'm like this feels so
Okay.
magical this moment. But I just want to say on just today that the reason why I call you Abuela is because that was one of my first Spanish words I learned in Spanish. And I was trying to
Yeah.
show you, like, Grandma, you helped me to get in this class, and look what I learned, me Abuela.
Hmm.
So I know that you
Okay.
also called your grandmothers, I remember you telling us stories like Medea or
I know you. Grandmother's name was Sugar Baby.
Sugar Baby. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sugar Baby. That was my grandmother's name. That was her nickname.
Yeah,
Hmm.
she was
And
Medea.
grandmama and my grandmother
Uh-huh.
named me. She named me Pee Wee. That was
That's right.
my nickname from her.
Yes.
Was Pee Wee. Hmm.
Now,
And Madeira came from what we used to call my biological mother, which I never knew anything about other than what they told me.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hmm.
I just want
Yeah.
to say that I'm just so grateful that today Grandma you get to join me. And one of the things that we practice so well, we do breathing, practices. We both did our breathing practices before this.
Hmm.
Some heavy things can come up. Now we're not going to be
Yeah.
in a space of doing anything that's going to like overexert or talk too much about trauma, but we want to talk about the space of listening to an elder, especially when it comes
Hmm.
to learning how to navigate the uncertainties of today. Everything that's happening
Exactly.
feels very familiar to even the times of you being in the space of the Jim Crow South, and we still know we are in Jim Crow 2025. Let's not act like we're not.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so one of the things that I wanted to just check in and just listen and just trust and hope that this will be salve, right? Healing to others,
Yeah.
ways to
Yeah.
navigate.
Yeah.
So, Grandma, I have a few questions for you. Is it okay for me to ask you?
Of course. Yes. Go ahead.
Now, before I ask you, can I ask, are you wondering why I'm doing this? Like, do you wonder why I'm doing this episode today? Do you understand like, why I'm doing this? Or you want me to tell you?
Uh, yeah. Go ahead and tell me. But I thought it was just for a project for you.
Yeah,
Uh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
I
you
wanted
can
to,
explain it in depth.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain a little bit more in depth. So one of the things
Mm-hmm.
that I have done is I'm doing the Dream Collective Care and Practice. That's been one of the things that I've created in my own business, the Healing and Change Lab. And we
Okay.
actually are participating in this trend on TikTok. And I know, Grandma, sometimes you be on TikTok, sometimes you don't. But if you remember,
I'm never on TikTok.
you're not
If you
on,
don't know the
she's
truth.
on Facebook. She's on
Yeah.
well, on the TikTok trend, there's a trend called Human Talk University and also TikTok University. It is actually started
Hmm.
from a professor who accidentally uploaded. Well, she uploaded her syllabus and all the information for her students who are on TikTok a lot. So she's trying to gravitate towards them, but it went viral, Grandma. And so what?
Okay.
Yeah, so now people do series of education series, and so I'm participating in that trend, which is really great. But I thought this was something
Okay.
special because I said, you know what? I talk about this all the time, and I think about the Blackfoot Nation and Dr. Cindy Blackstock. Even Dr. Resma Minicum talks about the 7 generations before us. Like it's
Hmm.
the term cultural perpetuity, or just understanding
Ooh.
what culture has done before. So if I think about
Hmm.
you, Grandma, like you are considered, for what I know, is and it's a little bit more than that. You have named even Medea. Am I saying that name? Medea? And then there's
Hmm. Hmm.
and then
Hmm.
you said your mom, who did Medea, and then it was
Yeah.
you. So
And then the grandmama was Sugar Baby.
yes, ma'am. So if we were to do for
Hmm.
Granny, so let's just do for Granny, Zabita, right?
Yeah, Zabidi.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So with
Hmm.
Zabiti,
Yeah.
that's 4 generations, right? So I think about
Exactly.
like uh, first generation Jim Crow refugee,
Hmm.
you being the second, mom being the third, and I'm being the fourth. If I could just look
Okay.
at my lifetime, we've had 4 generations that I've been able to connect with. Now,
Okay. Right. All right.
so the
Hmm.
term Jim Crow refugee, when I told you about that, what does that come up for you?
Right.
Like, what does that mean
Right.
for you? Do you know, like, what that means for you?
Well, looking at the refugee part, that's some people that's what, like in bondage, they're in slavery.
Right.
They don't call it slavery, they call it refugees,
Yeah.
when you you're disconnected from your heritage, I do believe.
That's right, Grandma. Yes,
Okay.
Abuela.
Yeah.
So I want to give a shout
Yeah.
out to Delisa Milton, one of my really awesome friends and also colleagues. She's a civil rights attorney and also
Hmm.
a social worker, clinical social worker. Hey, Delisa. And she actually taught me that word, Jim Crow
Okay.
Refugee.
Okay.
Everything you said, Grandma, is on point. So knowing that you
All right.
Granny
Mm-hmm.
to migrate to the South, hence why we got to Illinois, right? Like that's
Right. Exactly. Right.
so here.
That's exactly what we done.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Here y'all have to. I'm
Hmm.
gonna pause a little bit more because I feel like I may be talking over you, Grandma. So I do apologize. So
No, no, no. You're not talking. I'm listening.
okay, yes, ma'am. So
Hmm.
what
Hmm.
I'm say to you here in this moment, y'all are seeing two generations. This is I'm considered the fourth generation Jim Crow refugee, and my grandmother right
Hmm.
here, the Abuela, is the second generation Jim Crow refugee here in America. Okay, so
Hmm.
appreciate it, Grandma. And don't forget your breath. Don't forget to have your
Oh
agent.
no.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The first,
I'm good.
I know, I know. It's like I just, I love you, Abuela. It's like I know it's heavy topics, and I appreciate you being on here. So I'm giving space to that.
Yes.
The first question is, can you share some of your earliest memories from Vicksburg, Mississippi during the Jim Crow era?
Yes, I can go back to some of the things that I can talk about, and don't be all
Yeah,
bottled up about it or tensed about it or whatever.
yeah,
But I tell you the things that I remember when I was coming up, and one of the things was how they had for colored only signs at your water fountain, at restaurants, at the bathrooms. Um, Also, as far as uh, how you go shopping for your food and whatnot, it was always different prices. They'd have one price for the other people, but for us, they would have it higher.
yeah,
And many things that we eat now, we wasn't able to obtain those things. There was certain types of meat that we were given
yeah,
to eat.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah. So, like I said, in the food market, we had to stand in line, or they had like little. It looked like little outhouses, little wooden outhouses. The way the little corner stores would be.
hmm,
Excuse me. It wasn't like the big um, stores are today. It wasn't like that.
yeah, yeah,
But the good thing about that is that my grandmother, she was able and blessed to have her own land, and it
yeah,
was it was a huge amount of property that she had, because on her land she had peach trees, apple trees, she had persimmon trees, the figs. She also had livestock, which was cows, and well, she didn't have the cows, but she had the pigs, and she had the ducks, the chickens.
yeah.
She didn't have to worry about paying $9 or $11 for a dozen of eggs, because okay,
That's right. You paying about $9 for the eggs today, so
exactly. So she, she didn't have to worry about that meter, because she had the hens to lay the eggs, which was a good thing. Uh, and the one tree that I remembered, and it looked like your thumb, like the tip of where the bone at, where you bend the thumb. Excuse me. It looked like apples, but what she called them was zuzus. Yeah,
Zuzus.
she called them zuzus, but it was a flavor of the zuzu that reminded you as if you were eating an apple. So, and then,
Okay.
hmm and the other thing with that I do remember is my aunt. She was the youngest. I was the baby. She was the baby of the family as well. And
Yeah.
what she used to do is because Zebedee, which is Granny, they called her.
Yes.
Granny
Mhm.
made all our clothes. Yeah,
Yeah.
she made all. Girl, that was made all our clothes. I mean, the woman made drawers. The panties. She she made the panties, Nita. She made socks. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Uh, even all of the stuff that they had to go through, and many of them didn't have an education, but they were smart. They were intelligent. You
That's right.
understand? They knew stuff because neither one of them ever went to school to read or write, but they knew how to do it, okay, and
Yes.
understand it. My aunts, they were beauticians. Never went to a
Yeah.
beautician school, no place. Okay?
Wow. Woo!
Right.
Yeah.
My mother, my granny, she was just an all around woman. Good cook.
Yeah.
She, like I said, she was should call her a seamstress because she made clothes like that for us. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
yeah. She made.
Grandma
Hmm.
name, Abuela name, like just the hands, right? Like it reminds me of that Bill Withers songs, Grandma's
Yeah,
hands. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
So just like that part,
Right.
like it's in your hands. And Mama has taught me this too. And I'm gonna have her feature too, Vanessa, my mama,
Yeah,
my grandmother,
yeah.
my daughter.
Okay.
You know, your hands and what's in your hands? What can you do? You know, it's in
Exactly.
your hands.
Exactly. Yes. And I guess for me, I'm more of a let's see, what word would I use? Because it's in human resources. Wouldn't be that, but it's more like on uh, being a
What
nurse.
is yeah,
Yeah.
nurse, social work.
Social work.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All of
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
That's what I inherit.
Yes,
Uh
ma'am.
huh.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Mm-hmm.
other thing about in Mississippi coming up, I remember I used to see my grandmother go out early in the morning before no, it was be pitch black, and they'd be out
Yeah.
there because this truck done came along with a lot of people on the back of it, and in doing so, what they were doing was they were going to the cotton field. They
Yeah.
were going picking cotton, chopping cotton, whichever one came first, whichever one they could make the most money in doing. Well, I know my grandmother; she was good at it. She was excellent at it, to tell you the truth. And so, just on the lighter part of it, with
Yeah.
her is when I kept asking her, "Well, grandmama, can I go with you? I want to see what it's like." Yeah, come on, Pee Wee. She would tell me. She said, "Girl, get on up and get dressed, okay?" So,
Wow,
uh-huh.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I'd get up and get dressed and had the little rag tied all around my head. You had to have the long sleeve shirts and stuff on, Peter, and your pants. Wasn't so much
Mhm.
into jeans then, but just your just regular little whatever you want to call them pants back then. Okay,
Right.
you have them and because in the morning it's cool, so now you got something on your arms to keep you warm, but you're gonna come
Yes,
up out of that doing by the time that sun hit up in the sky by 12 o'clock. Okay,
that's right.
all right.
That's right.
The other thing,
You know,
uh huh.
sorry. That thought. I'm sorry.
Go
What you said
the other thing that I was thinking about is when we went to the fields, the cotton fields, and how they would issue you out. Well, you fix your own food, you fix your own lunch and whatnot, but they had a bucket
was.
with a dipper in it. That
Uh-huh.
was for the water. Now you got to
What?
go. However many people were in that field, that's how many people you got to dip down in that bucket of water and give them a sip of water, drink of water.
Water. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So can
Oh,
you imagine that? You got to go all around and you dipping in that same bucket. This person done drank out of it, he dipping down in, and that person done drank out of it, and you dipping. They wasn't thinking about nothing else, slobber and nothing else, because it's hot out there, okay?
Outside. Yeah.
Yes. But
Woo.
but doing that, I mean, you can taste the little slimy, the little slimy
Yeah.
touch on that dipper from everybody drinking out of it. But
Yeah.
people wasn't worried about that. They were just trying to get full, where they wouldn't be thirsty.
Grandma ain't left in church on Sunday morning. Grandma ain't played a tambourine so well. Grandma ain't used to issues out a warning. She say, Billy, don't you run so fast. Might fall on a piece of glass. Might be snakes there in that grass. Grandma
Hmm.
So, okay, so you were saying that, y'all was in the field and y'all had to,
Right.
having to share that slimy bucket, and but it was a form of
Exactly. The water with that dipper.
that
Yeah. Yeah.
it was a moment to share like this collective care. Y'all take care of each other when
Yeah.
resources are limited, right? Um,
Right. Exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Hmm.
I want to just come up for a bit of air, right? To just name
Okay.
after some other things, just take some moments to come up with some joy as well. Because part of the resistance, part of also the collective care and dreaming.
Hmm.
So I'll tell you, I'm doing dreaming, collective care, and practice. Part of dreaming
Right.
is to be reminded that how did you and your family, our family, find joy and pleasure despite the challenges you face?
By being having family gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the grandmother would maybe cook a Sunday meal,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the gathering that pulled us together, where we sat, we conversate with one another, we danced, we laughed. You know, not only that, but yeah, it's just like the things that we do even today with
That's right.
our families.
That's right.
How we come together. Somebody's over there on the grill, they cooking,
Yeah.
and
It's like shout out to my brother. Shout out to my brother for cooking
okay, right, right.
on job.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Or somebody like your mom making sandwiches
Yeah.
because she love. I call her the sandwich queen. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. I mean, she's had many people. I'm telling you, many people have gathered together
Mhm.
in her homes and in our with the grandmother and them, and even when your mother and gotten grown and how she does and interact with people. It's the same way we did back then.
Yeah, that
So
part.
in that sense, it is no different.
Yes.
Also, how the grandmother, how she would, and even today, it's just filtering through the family.
Yeah.
It's going down the family lineage,
Yeah.
where this how we are. We are nurturing people.
Yeah.
We reach out and we help one another.
Yeah.
For those that allow us to.
That's right.
Uh,
That's right.
yeah, that allow us to. So we've fed many people.
Yeah.
Okay, we've like I said, I was telling you that how my grandmother would open up her home to
Mhm.
homeless people and families and stuff, and my rememberings is me going to bed with them and waking up with a whole new family.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like grandma, but
so.
that had to be scary. Like, I mean, I know it was a place to know that it's so good that Sugar Bay, great grandmother,
Mhm.
care folks. But
Mhm.
it's scary for you to wake up to somebody new and navigate.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Exactly. And so I guess they couldn't understand. Well, why is she sitting over there and she's not, conversing? Well, I don't really want to talk to these people because I don't know them.
That's right. That's right. That's right. His name is
Okay, I don't know nothing about these people. But those are the things, and the community did come together. You
yeah,
know, Pe- then back in those times and going through all of what they had to go through,
yeah,
it was more collective. They were more closer
yeah,
because there were people that if you're a single mother
mhm,
and you just had a baby, there would be someone to come in and clean your house for you,
right.
and tend and take care of your children,
Mhm.
and prepare meals for you.
Yeah,
But it's not like that today. It's totally different.
it is
You know.
different. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
But that's what I was naming too is like that mutual aid, like the part where you
Mhm.
tell us, like
Mhm.
it was one of those parts where it's like, go to Miss Jessie B's house and get some sugar. You know what I mean? Just
Okay, yeah,
it help.
things like that. They had, and like I said, even with in doing your mother's time,
Yeah,
how it was passed on to her,
yeah.
passed on to all of you to be exact,
Real talk.
because it's the basically what you guys are doing now is what you grew up with,
That's right.
grew up in
That's
and learning. So
right.
yeah, yeah.
I want to give you your flowers once more and to say, Abuela, like I'm grateful to be a social worker. Like I'm an MSW now, LICSWA, uh,
Yeah.
associate clinical licensed social worker, and I want to
Okay.
say that those letters behind my name are from you, from
Mhm.
from Granny, from Sugar Bay, like all that, like that comes from y'all. I'm grateful to have these letters, but like
Yeah.
y'all the ones taught me. Like I can learn so much from the different universities I've been to or different spaces.
Right.
But y'all taught me that, and this is where we have to lower down that power dynamics to think like, oh, social workers only exist in the school realm, right? Y'all before
No.
the term social work, y'all was doing it already. Y'all was
Exactly.
so.
Exactly. Because that's exactly what Viola. That's what Sugar Baby was doing,
Mhm.
and ZB as well.
That,
That's all. That's what they all were doing.
mhm.
You know. Uh huh.
Yeah, that
Yes, indeed. Exactly.
grateful. So I just want to give you your flowers.
Mhm.
That when I've come
Yes,
in
ma'am.
situations, I give honor to y'all and just
Mhm.
living ancestors and those who have gone before. Because as
Oh yeah.
the nerdy brown kid, a great artist, she kind of does some amazing things.
Mhm.
I'll check her workout y'all on Instagram. She's an amazing, amazing artist. But she says, we're living ancestors. Soon we'll become ancestors.
Exactly, Nita.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I wanted to
Mhm.
ask this, Rob. I'm going a little bit back to
Okay.
like things aren't like the same as today as they were, before then. So just kind
Right.
of
Right.
with our questions. But the question is, what are some warning signs we need to stop ignoring? Like in this time, what are some warning signs?
Well, what I did as far as the warning signs,
Yeah,
it would be like because this was is in any relationship. It don't have to be uh man and woman or love relationship.
Yeah.
That's with any relationship, friends
Yeah.
as well. And one of the things is one of signs to be aware of is constant criticism,
Mm, mm-hmm.
verbal abuse, being in, someone insulting you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, and no communication.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Someone that's giving you the silent treatment,
Mm-hmm.
and also controlling and being possessive. Because I have had friends, lady friends,
Mm-hmm.
that felt like that they could control me, could tell me what to do, what not to do, and like I was supposed to be appreciative
Oh.
of them being, oh yeah, being appreciated of them being my friend,
Mm.
when they really should then appreciate it for being my friend. Okay,
That's right. So
please,
room to that is being to name, even when we're building in community, when we're building collective care, be able
yes,
to name, like those are some warning signs to be able to name, like,
exactly,
yeah, that's
exactly,
not community. That's not community.
exactly, exactly, and even emotional neglect.
Mm,
You need support.
yep,
You the lack of support.
yep,
Okay, and have empathy within the relationship, whatever it be, whatever, lovers, friends, uh, people in general, just everyday people
yes,
you meet.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah,
So speaking of that collective care, like being able to know like what it means to really be in community is so important, right? And be able to name like
yes,
we value as well
yes,
as the person we value. Now, Grandma, how are
exactly.
signs right now in our world, like what we're seeing? Like I know this does this familiar? Does this feel familiar to Mississippi Jim Crow South of just the things happening like in our nation right now with just so many executive orders happening and all those things happening right now coming from our government. Does that feel familiar at all, or that provides any connection to what's happening right now?
To me, this is just on a personal level. I see and I even hear, but my thing of it is for me, I don't constantly sit on this TV
Yeah.
and look at it.
Yes.
That's for me. That's me. That's my sanity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't continue. I don't look at all this news and stuff. I don't be on the internet looking at all this mess and stuff that's going on. It really doesn't hurt me, and the reason why it doesn't hurt me is because I do understand it. I see what's going on, and I have come through.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, come through it. So
That's,
So for me,
yeah.
uh, as my people will always say, that we can always make do. We've always been making do.
That's right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah. So,
And
so this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but I was going to say that part where you said make and do. Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about the part that I really recognize that this is part of that collective care that you talked about
Right.
make and do, and especially during these times. I remember when Mama was stationed on the West Coast, right? She came to,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
Washington, and we
Mhm.
Auntie Z. Hey, Auntie. She took us over to uh, Illinois on the train, and we've done a Greyhound too. I remember us doing Greyhound too. We
Yeah, we used to do Greyhound. That's right. Yes, indeed. Baby, that was a going thing. Cause I wasn't really ready to get on no plane. You can best believe that.
So I want to give a shout out to Amtrak and Greyhound because they got us.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes, but I remember Grandma when you used to fry us some chicken and put it in that foil.
Mhm.
Yeah, then you had us so you have
Yes.
little juice boxes and stuff and
Yes.
that
Yes.
like that's something
Yes.
ancestral, right? Because back in
It sure is.
right,
It sure is.
ancestors couldn't have no refrigerator box or anything in that vein,
Mm.
so they had to fry the chicken. So how did you
Mhm.
how did you know that? Was that just something that you was knew from passed down generation to generations? We didn't have a refrigerator in the Amtrak either, nor that Greyhound.
Just from because that's what when I was traveling.
Hmm.
That's what my grandmother did for me.
Yeah.
She would fry up some chicken, baby.
Hmm.
You hear me?
Yeah.
And had them biscuits, had that bread, as they would call it, that white bread.
Woo! Yeah.
So that's what they used to call it, white bread.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. They'd have that, slap that white bread up and then it'd be mashed all together. But baby, that
That's some good eating.
I'm-
That's,
yes, ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. So yes,
That's
exactly.
well. This is
Mm-mm.
the next part here, Grandma, just about joy.
Okay.
Because joy is
All right.
too. Because you help me with this. I ask you, I said, Grandma, there's so much more in the world. I too don't be watching all the news, Grandma. I don't. I try to get, and
Yeah.
you can't help it when you own, social media and all that stuff. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you come into your feed and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to watch this, but because I'm taking care of myself. Just like you said, you taking care of yourself. Because you like, we made it
Exactly.
to this round. We don't need to make it
Yes.
next rounds. We don't need to be so what they call the word shock doctor, like to be so put
Right.
information in your face that you just feel helpless. So
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
joy is also resistance. My question to you is why do you think joy and pleasure are acts of resistance, especially for black bodies?
Because to me, I believe it you're reclaiming your worth, your self-worth.
Yeah,
You're affirming who you are and your inheritance.
yeah,
You see?
yes,
That's what you're doing. And you're thriving to and you're celebrating. That's what you're doing. You're thriving. You're finding joy in your life despite all of the challenges we had to face.
that's right. That's
So that's why we come together, uh, and we share things with one another, and we do things with one another, and we love on one another.
yeah,
For that joy.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't think we do it enough.
Oh,
I really don't think we do it enough. I
yeah,
think we have gotten away from that.
yeah.
Because people would come, like I said, help one another. They seen a family that was in trouble, needed help.
Mhm.
Here we go.
Yeah.
We're gonna come over there, look, and bring them some fried chicken and some potato salad, and
We go feed folks. But let's talk about that because
we definitely gonna feed. We definitely gonna feed people, okay? There ain't no doubt about that one now.
so let me just say this is the part I'm talking about. I come from social work roots, okay? Because
Okay, right,
Grandma,
right.
I remember
Now,
you was helping Miss Olivia. I just want to say I don't know
yeah.
what she is. I know she identified as sex worker, right? So being to name that she was, on the streets and she
Yeah, she was on the street, and yeah, that's what Olivia was.
and shout out to the sex
Hmm.
workers because they make the world go round as well. I just want to say that we
As well.
humanize people up in this. Thank you for this.
Hmm.
And we
Hmm.
get the protection that you need in this country. It's a lot. But I wanted to say,
Yeah,
Miss came upstairs and she said, "Ma'am, you got something to eat?" You said, "Yeah, I got something to eat." You have made some,
yeah.
but that
She talking about.
that what she
Well, you. Smell now. She says, smell like you fixing some chicken. Smell like you cooking chicken. And I'm saying to myself, why is this woman all up in my business? But I imagine that meal was flowing out there in the air.
it
And so,
was.
and I said, now, hold up, Miss Olivia. I'll go ahead. I'll fix you a plate.
Yeah,
No, ma'am, you go right ahead on. You can keep it all. The fork, and the plate and everything.
yes, ma'am. You showed up dead, but I remember that.
Everything else. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
props because coming from Mississippi to Chicago, where we for
Yeah.
all weekend. I remember
Hmm.
it's down, south. They say that's two meats. So having chicken and spaghetti, they
And the spaghetti. Hmm.
consider it as like
I don't care. We had two meats. We look. We can't eat without. If we're gonna have the chicken, we're gonna either have the rice or we're gonna have the spaghetti.
that's right, that's right.
Okay.
Have the rice or the spaghetti, and that's
Or the spaghetti. And then the other, you're gonna have. Excuse me. You're gonna have your potato salad because I'm telling. I think look back to me. I grew up on potato salad. That was one of Yeah, that was one of the main dishes that I love.
yeah,
There's a whole lot of other stuff that I didn't eat, but then I'm grateful to ZB because she didn't force me to eat it either.
Yeah,
You
most
know.
definitely, most definitely.
Uh-huh.
And I just want to
Yeah.
shout out to Auntie Mary Jane and she continue to rest in
Yeah.
peace and all things because she,
Amen.
yes,
Exactly.
yes, potato salad, Abuela.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Yes.
Oh, and the last thing I want to say
So,
about this question, Grandma, is like you had said,
mhm.
I said, Abuela, like, how you navigate these times, you had said, live. Just we live.
Exactly.
Like, what do you mean
Exactly.
by that? Can you explain that to our folks? Like, what did you mean by that? Like,
I said to really to live your best life.
yeah, yeah.
Stop allowing people to put you in boxes and tell you how and what and when you're supposed to be you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
See, that's what you do.
Yes.
You have to be true to who you are,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what it is. If you say if you're a beggar, I say be a good one.
Yes,
Okay.
that's real. So giving that part,
Yes.
especially during these times, is not to give in to like what is being told to tell us what to do and all that. It's like we need to definitely live because that's the resistance is.
Exactly. We have
So
to
think, yeah.
stop being in that victim mentality.
Mm.
Because that's where they want us to be. That's how they want us to feel. Like, we got to give up. No, you don't have to give up. You better keep fighting.
That's right.
Please,
That's right.
I'm telling you. Yes.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, ma'am. So this part right here, I think this goes right into our next question here. We have just got two more questions here. Is what advice
Okay.
would you give to younger generations about building community and practicing self care today?
Well, I went over and thought about it, looked at the words and whatnot.
Yeah.
And my thing, I came up with cultivating
Mm-hmm.
compassion for oneself
Woo, woo, abuela.
and to your own self. Be kind. You know, kindness
Mm-hmm.
to encourage yourself
Yeah.
because most time a lot of us we don't have that support group.
Yeah.
We don't have the type of family that we perhaps need to have where we can go to them and sit down and tell them what's really going on with us and they'll have that understanding.
That's right. That's right.
See, or that listening ear for it.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to learn how to encourage ourselves. Okay, well, we're down right now. Okay, but things didn't go right this time. Well, we got to keep on trying. If you keep on trying, sooner or later, it's gonna turn out just the way you want it to turn out.
That's
You just can't give up. You
right.
just cannot give up.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. Thank you.
no, you
I love
just can't give up.
Abuela was a part of having compassion. I think sometimes one of the things that we have to continue to work as a collective is not to be martyrs. Even as the world of social work, right? We've been taught
Hmm.
it's like take care of everybody else, but don't take care of yourself. But I heard just compassion. Have compassion for one.
Compassion,
Yeah.
and you cannot take care of somebody else fully
Woo!
without taking care of yourself first.
Talk about it, Abuela. Talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, you cannot do it.
Yeah.
You just cannot do it. Somebody gonna go lacking. Something's gonna go undone.
Yeah.
You got to get yourself together first
Yeah.
before you can reach out and try to help somebody else.
That's right. That's
Because if you all messed up, I almost said something else, but I'm glad it didn't come out. But
right.
if you all messed up in the head, how can you help somebody?
Yes. You talking truth to power.
Yes,
Yes. Talk.
yes, yes. I'm telling you, telling you. Mm-mm.
Okay.
And just love yourself, love your doggone self, honey. You better love yourself because in this day and time, or either any time
Hmm.
that you're here on this earth, if you don't have compassion and love and kindness and trust
Yes. Yes.
and belief in who you are,
Hmm.
you ain't gonna find it no place else.
That's
Nobody else gonna give it to you. No, please.
I love you. You talking the truth. This some healing right here. This some healing.
Yes, indeed.
This goes back
Yeah.
to that part that you're naming about like loving oneself. Like, how do you stay hopeful in the face of ongoing social and political changes right now? How do you stay hopeful?
How do I stay hopeful?
Yeah, yeah.
By sharing my concerns
Mm,
and considering the way to be active.
yeah, yeah,
And my other thing is try to connect with others, which I connect with my family.
yeah, yeah,
And that's more important. Now I can't say and friend.
yeah.
I would say that I would have one female that I do consider and know for a fact that she is a friend.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I
mhm,
mean that's how I do it.
yeah,
And encourage myself in critical thinking among our sharing that,
yeah,
sharing that with my family and my friends.
yes,
And my thing, like I said, I don't be on
yeah,
social media that like that. I
hmm
don't sit up and look at this TV and look at all this stuff they want to bring to me and put up in my brain, you know.
It's, wait,
For me to be
remember? You know that movie we used to watch? This reminds me of that part. Was it Joe the volcano when he was like suck, 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 suck when those white
yeah, right.
Joe against the volcano? I think that's the movie. If y'all know it. But he said
Okay,
suck,
okay.
suck, suck.
Exactly. Suck your brain out. Exactly.
Yes. Grandma,
No, I don't look at that.
yes,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Abuela, you had
Yeah.
something too that was really powerful between you and I we
Mhm.
got on was like critical thinking. You said
Mhm.
realize you're gonna look at everybody else and what they doing versus critically thinking of like, is this what we need to do or what do we need to
Right. Okay. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
hmm
So yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay, Abuela, we're in our final thoughts. Final thoughts of wisdom
Yeah.
you'd like to share with someone.
Mhm.
You just like to share with those navigating these uncertain times. Let me say the question one more time. Any
Mhm.
thoughts of wisdom you like to share with those navigating these uncertain times?
Well, I went over this, and so I could get the full understanding. I went and did a little research, read up on this, and that, and what I came out with, and I'm quoting it, and it says, "Allow myself to get no, don't allow myself to get or stay in the position of victimhood.
Yeah.
Believe that I can be filled with joy
Yeah.
and happiness and still be able to fight our oppressor.
Yeah. That part.
And I also to form a bond with my elders,
Mm-hmm.
which that's mainly what I've done all of my life that I can remember as a youth. That was the most thing or the most people that I would be around is the elder,
Yeah.
because I know they have plenty of wisdom to share with us.
That part. Ooh.
Yes. Okay. Another thing is staying true to who I am.
Yeah.
Not trying to be like this person or that person,
Mm-hmm.
or just be me, who I am. I know me. That's the one thing people need to do is find out who they are.
Yeah.
Know thy own self.
Ooh. Come on, boy.
Know thy own self and be true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
That's right.
The other one, the other one, in doing that, know that you are enough.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to be trying to prove nothing in anybody. Know that you're enough. And if that person or those people cannot see that within you,
Yeah.
hey, forget them. Keep on stepping. That's why I say keep stepping. Keep stepping and don't look back.
Yeah.
Don't allow anybody to try to change you and for to make you to fit in to whatever their little programs are.
Woo. Layla.
Okay?
Come on now.
And the one thing for sure, that's to love, to trust, and believe in yourself,
Yes.
and then live your life
Yes.
as you see fit.
That's right. As
Yeah,
you see fit. Come on.
as you see fit. Okay.
Oh, I'm so grateful.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you
Yes, ma'am.
for that. I mean, you taught that to us, and that's why I am so grateful to have spaces where I just get to live my life unapologetically, and I think that's so
Mhm.
important to me.
Mhm.
I thank y'all
Mhm.
for nourishing me, um,
Yes.
these times of nourishing my cousins and my brother, my siblings, and um, just everybody.
Exactly, Nita.
I just feel like siblings. Our first cousins, we call them siblings too. I feel like they brothers and
Oh
sisters,
yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
Y'all kept us close. Y'all kept us in a space where we just were close together, and
And I love that.
mm,
I mean, I look at y'all now. I'm telling you, I love that. I can't say that much for one of my siblings.
hmm
Uh, that well, it's not my sibling, but the one of my children
yeah,
is how he interacts or don't interact with his family. But that's on him. That's to his loss.
yeah, yeah,
But the other factor is that I love how my grandchildren and my great grands
yeah,
interact with one another. They come together, they have a good time together, they love one another, they enjoy one another.
yeah.
And I like that. I
Yeah,
like that.
it's important
Yeah, I like that.
that, it's
Mhm.
important.
Mhm.
And I trust that, in the healing too, that, those who have been able to not be connected to community, that they will come when they're ready, and when there's also welcoming and there's spaces for also just the community agreements, Because in anything
That's
that I
hey.
do too, when I do anything, but my work as well, y'all, that I do, for those who don't know, we do a lot of conflict
Yeah. Yeah.
management, especially within communities and helping people
Mhm.
just navigate, hard conversations and stuff. And one of the things
Mhm.
that's important is to always have community agreements and also
Oh yeah.
to also navigate conflict, right? And like when that
Right.
happens,
Right.
people have all
Right.
left spaces. So giving room to all of that is so important. And in due time, folks will come back
Yeah.
if they are ready, or find, like you said earlier, find other communities to help them heal as well. So that's important to me.
I hope for them,
Yeah.
but uh that's all I can do is hope for them because until they're ready,
hmm
it's not gonna be done.
Yeah, that's important.
And then on the upper note, high note, whichever note you want to choose,
Yes.
I am in a place in time and space
Mhm.
where I am not bogged down with all those different feelings.
Yeah.
You understand? That keeps me in a way that I can't even enjoy
Yeah.
who I am.
That's right, Abuela.
Yeah,
That's right. That's so
yeah.
important. Well, Abuela,
Mhm.
I am so grateful I got to listen to my elder. Y'all got to listen to my elder today. And before we
Okay.
one of the things that we do is we practice breathing so that we know that we have talked a lot about, some heavy things and also some joyful
Yeah,
things and all of
yeah.
that. Do you mind joining me in a breathing practice?
Let's do it, Mita. I'm ready.
So, what I'm doing right now is I'm placing my right hand over my chest.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. You can have your eyes closed, your eyes open, if
Mhm.
you prefer. Have the
Mhm.
shoulders lifted down, like away from your ears. So them down, away from your
Mhm.
ears. Very good.
Mhm.
And you'll be able to inhale from your diaphragm through your nose, right? Okay, so inhale through your nose,
Mhm.
dropping the breath. We're setting the intention of inhaling courage and exhaling fear. Okay? Let's try it together. Let's
Yeah.
inhale courage
You go.
and exhaling fear, dropping that breath. Very good. Let's try that two more times. Take our time. Two more times.
Mhm.
Let's inhale courage and exhale fear. Good. And our last time,
Mhm.
courage
Okay.
and exhale fear. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
As we
Yeah.
this present moment, feel free to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes,
They wiggling.
wiggling.
I'm wiggling. I'm wiggling, Mita. I'm wiggling.
I just want to say I love you so much. Thank you for allowing me to come on this again. The two Almeidas, for those who may have joined us
Yes.
a little bit later. I am with my abuela, my grandmother, who is fourth generation Jim Crow refugee, and I'm considered, excuse me, she is the second generation Jim Crow refugee, and I'm fourth generation Jim Crow refugee. In here in America, and navigating these uncertain times through joy, through collective care, through dreaming. As we know, we're also placing it into practice. And so, again, Abuela, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you, and we definitely look forward to being in community with you in the future. Okay?
Okay, and I do appreciate you thinking of me and you wanted to share this with me. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you, Abuela. Well,
I'm
you
grateful.
enjoy your rest
Mhm.
of the day. I heard that you and my mama got a little lunch date, so yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna call and say, okay, okay, V, you can come pick me up now.
definitely. Well, for those who
All right, baby.
joined us, we thank you so much. Y'all take care. Continue to be in a space of dreaming and collective care and
Yes,
practice.
yes.
And
I have a question.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I have a question, Nita.
yeah.
Now, this will you put this online? You broadcast it or how?
That's a great question.
Uh,
It's
the-
actually good for our audience as well. So I'm going to be actually offering this as part of online on YouTube.
okay.
Find us on YouTube, which is great. And then also
Yeah.
right here, my clicker. I know, Grandma, you can't see this right now, but in my clicker, y'all,
Okay.
YouTube right here is actually coming up right now. So let me make it.
Mhm.
It's Almetta Creates, and that's ALMETTA underscore
Mhm.
Almetta
Okay.
Creates, and so people can find that information there. Also,
Yeah, cause I know. Yeah, I know your auntie wanted to. She wanted to hear what was said. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
you have it there. So you'll have it there. You also get to see it on
Okay.
Facebook, which is great. You can see it on.
Mhm.
We're going to do it on my Substack as well. So Shift Ain't Easy. That's SHIF.
Okay.
I know we have playing with SHIT, but
Hold
Shift
on.
Ain't Easy. And also
That's your daughter.
the Claw, which
Okay.
is as well.
I
Is that
thought you
my
were
mama?
ready.
Is that my mama?
Yeah. Yeah. This your mama. Uh huh.
You know we feature on week 4, mama. So stay tuned, okay?
Yeah. 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 I'm finished. We just finishing up now. We just said I have to let you know that I'm finished now.
Okay.
Okay. All right, baby.